What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Welcome to the full view settings. What's going on? It's a full... He's not, but he could be on his way, so I wouldn't keep celebrating. No, we are packed to the rafters for a wicked full view show tonight. This is exactly how it should be: full of vibes, full of energy, full of great opinion and debate. Really, that's what this is about. So big up to Owen, big up to Marcel, big up to James, big up to DJ, obviously big up to KG, and most of all, big up to all you guys in the comments, big up the community. Obviously, yes, we put the show back to all hope that Liverpool would lose that penalty shootout. Elite level penalties the whole way through, goes down to the keepers.
Flex, sorry to stop you there. Did you big up Owen by any chance? Because I think, did he?
Yeah.
First, yeah.
Yeah, it's just passive aggressive. I
even bigged him up before you. So what does that mean?
Just passive aggressive. Just trying to put a bit of a divide between us already. Did you big up Owen? I don't think you did.
You know what it is, Owen. You just let them talk, Owen. You just let them. They want to try and create divisions in the club. A little bit like the media. KG's a little bit like the media. He's trying to look for that headline. He's trying to really be that form, but it's not going to happen.
He's in the press conference. He's like, KG, reckless vibes. Here's my question.
KG live from the Reckless Chronicles, bro. 100%. But we got a lot to get into, man. It's always going to be vibes. It's always going to be energy. But I feel like this is going to be a good one because we need to get into it. It's the top four debate. I mean, when you speak to people after the game and you've just dropped 2 points against a stubborn Watford team like we did, wasn't good enough, drop more points like we have. Everyone's obviously straight after the game, forget it. Top four's over. It's been over for a long time. Some people, it was Marcel actually, who was like, I'm not in that camp. I'm not saying it's over. It's not over. But I'll start with you, KG, actually. How are you feeling about this top four thing? In fact, have you clocked out? Do you even care? Is it one of them?
I'm depressed. Just I've got light depression. That's what I'm calling it at the moment. The reason why I call it light is because I looked at the fixture list and the games that we had to pick up points from. Bloody hell, mate. I mean, it's not nice, is it? We got Man City to come. We got Liverpool that just won a title to come. We got a lot of big games. You say to yourself, though, like, Man United are missing. We're so unlucky as a side. We're incredibly unlucky. Some people say we rolled our luck in the Atletico game, but I felt was due a moment of luck. And you think to yourself, all the chances we missed yesterday, it makes it hard. And I haven't looked at Arsenal's games, but just looking at our ones, can we go and win and get 6 points against, let's say, Liverpool, Man City? Can we do that? What does everyone think on the show? I doubt it. So it's nerves. So then after you say our best chance for top four is winning the Champions League. And that's crazy. But yes,
that's a real crazy thing to say.
That is crazy.
That's true, but it looks like it does.
Our best hope, if you think about it, unless everyone starts to do weird things, Arsenal start to get real weird, and unless a miracle happens, but Man United just haven't been that lucky. So it's one of those ones where I'm just watching with holding my breath. That's what I'm doing at the moment. A long time to do it as well, but that's what I'm going to try and do and hope.
Ian says, honestly, don't care anymore. I'm just thinking about the rebuild next season. James, how do you feel about it? Are you with Ian on that, or is there still time? Is there still options to try and get this over the line?
I don't really think there's options to get it over the line, but I'm also not just waiting for next season. Like, I'm a United fan. I'm going to go to every game. I want to support. I want us to win every game, right? So I'm not just going to write off the season as if it doesn't matter. I don't think luck comes into it, to be honest. Like KG said, I really don't. Putting the ball in the net is not luck, man. Putting the ball in the net is your strikers taking chances. Fernandes could have squared that to Ronaldo yesterday. There's nothing lucky.
He would have missed it.
Well, he might have done, and that might be bad luck. It could have bobbled. Yeah. But at the end of the day, him not passing that or not finishing it is not luck. We might create chances, and people go on about us creating loads of chances and stuff. But what, we had 4 clear-cut chances yesterday against 19th in the league at home, and people are writing home we're prime Barcelona creating all these chances. It's no, people like Liverpool create 10, 11 chances and dispatch 3 or 4 of them against teams like that. We didn't create enough, mate. So at the end of the day, I don't think we create enough. I don't think we needed to play 2 6s at home. And I don't think we'll get top 4, mate. Sorry to be negative. I don't think it's luck, and I don't think we're good enough.
DJ, Ben says, is this another Cristiano Ronaldo is the problem episode, I presume. Super chat. Ben, this actually isn't that. It really isn't that. And it's just ironic that I'm coming to DJ on that because of what he said before the other day.
I said what I said, man. I said what I said.
Because DJ was really coming with that CR7 energy, and I'm sure he stick by it. But this isn't the CR7 show, Ben. So to answer your question, no, this isn't that. He might come up in conversation, but it isn't the CR7, bashing show. But DJ, you look at it not being in our hands, and we still got to play Arsenal away, got to play Chelsea at home, Tottenham at home, Liverpool and City away. Big games. KG wincing as I reel off them games. Can you see us turning up now and changing this around? Because some people are saying, actually, we are playing better. We just got to score in them moments. Or is that just not false narrative, but is that a smoke screen as to what's really going on? Is there a bigger thing, or is it as simple as we're just not scoring when we're meant to?
I think it's a little bit of everything, to be fair. In the words of Marcel, March Madness, innit? Like, it's going to be an absolute mad one. And, the reality is, I said months ago, to be fair, we're not going to get top 4. I said it. I said it on here. I said it loud. And I said we're not going to get it. Why? Because, Flex, we always talk about sample size. And the sample size I've seen from this team over the last month, over the last years, is that they're not built for this no more. Like, I think we've reached our ceiling. Yeah, the play's improved. But when you're coming up against Watford, we should have been clear. We should have been clear. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. We should have been clear. Our big players are not taking the chances. Bruno, Ronaldo, they should be bagging the goals. We're looking a little bit light now in the striker department. Cavani's on summer holidays every other week. Like, it's just a madness. And the reality is, this is where we're at. And all we can do, and all I can do as a United fan, is hope that we can get something from the game. Now, Ranić, for as good as a tactician he is, he's going to have to really... if he gets us through this...
Can he do any more? Can he do any more? Like, a lot of people are saying this ain't on him. He's setting us up. And to be fair, even in the press conferences, DJ, he's saying... It's our job as coaches to set the team up in a way that creates a certain amount of chances. We did that, and we're not scoring. He's basically saying, "You man, I've done my job. You're across the white line. I'm done."
Exactly, and that's for the players to be doing that. I thought the squad selection that he picked was perfect. I thought the substitutions he made, even when we were trying to chase that 3 points, were perfect. He did everything. I think he did everything that he needed to do. I think he did everything that he needed to do. And it's just, again, the players let him down. Now, the players can keep coming out on social media talking about, we need to score. Just go and do it, bro. I don't even need to hear it no more. Just do it. Just do it. And then we can see that you've done it, innit? So, for me, Ranić's done what he can. And it's down to the players. If the players can pick themselves up in the next couple of games, then great. But I just don't see it happening, boys.
Before I come to Marcel and Owen, I just need to read out these batch of super chats here. Red Baron says, I know we're all disappointed about not getting top 4, etc., but if we continue playing, dominating football, eventually we will get the results we deserve. That'll be a good one to come to Marcel with, because there's a glimmer of hope there. There's some positivity there. Destiny says, KG, I need you to play the rubbish button for Kepa. Fuming, bad end to the weekend.
Rubbish. I mean, what was even that?
Yeah, 100%. And Blue Abadai says, I'm partially putting the blame on DJ for not saying sorry until the 80th minute. But on the positive side, the defense looks great. DJ, they're coming for you, mate.
It's fine. Hey, come at me, bro. It's cool.
And Sanjeet says, lads, we will miss put but on top 4 because I think we'll miss top 4 because we have dropped 20 points currently to teams positioned 11th and lower. 5 points dropped to Watford. Well, no, 4 points dropped to Watford. Yeah, it took 3 of us and then got a draw yesterday. But exactly. And I said before the game, what did I say? Our record against these teams in the bottom half of the league, and in particular, teams in the bottom sort of 3 or 4, hasn't been good. And PJ Roberts says, Kepa playing rugby. Yeah, 3 points for Wigan with that last penalty kick. Mate, he was on something else. KG, generational entertainer. Marcel, you said you haven't given up on top 4. Oh, just quickly, sorry, 1 second. Andrew C says, Flex, I love you, but please remove any top 4 from video titles. We ain't getting... Andrew's coming to smoke. He says, Flex, bro, I love you, but please remove any top 4 from the video titles, please. We ain't getting top 4. You are setting yourself up to get bantered by rival fans. So in that case, Andrew C says, Marcel, don't talk about it, Marcel. I'm going to ask you a different question.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. That was it. Lovely stream.
Oh, God.
Andrew, man.
Oh, just quickly, and they're saying I'm bad at maths. I was looking at the points they've actually taken, but yeah. All right, cool. We get it. Same. Marcel, come on. Talk to us?
It's not done. It's mathematically, it's not done, guys. So there's still a possibility. And yes, okay, we played poor against the lower teams, but listen, if we get 4 points out of maybe a draw out of City, and I definitely believe there's a win out of Tottenham in there. That's looking at 5 points in the last 4 games. Then you've got Chelsea later on, a difficult game, but that'll be another 6-pointer, and then you've got another 6-pointer against Arsenal later on down the line as well. We can still affect their results in a small way. The team is absolutely rubbish right now, but and to be honest with you, I'm a massive kind of not Marcel hater, but I was saying at the beginning of the season, Flex, that we shouldn't be part of the team, but that's bad business. We should have had it. We maybe should have needed him. We should have needed him. We should have had him around. We should have had him around.
Marcel saying, "Bring back Tony."
It was a bad decision, maybe. To
the biggest Tony out man I've ever come across. He's like,
ain't Tony injured at the moment though? Currently
injured.
I don't know. Injury ain't available.
I don't know, but do you get it? Like we shouldn't have let him go at the time that we did. Is what I'm trying to say. Maybe he could have had a part to play right now. I still think he's not good enough to be with the team long term. But right now, we could have maybe used of his services.
There was a big discussion about the Rashford situation and Martial at the time, and look at what Rashford's doing at the moment and what he has been doing. And people are saying, listen, the link up play and some of the decision making, Martial just wouldn't play as bad as this if he was playing week in, week out.
But this is not Ralph's fault though, Flex.
No, he wanted to go. He decided it, innit?
Yeah, and just in general with the team, it's not Ralph's fault as well. He's set up the team to win that game. A lot of the games that he's done. And he hasn't had poor results. He set up the team to go and score goals. We're just not finishing the chances.
Yes, the changes were bad ones, though. We have to be honest, guys.
I agree with you, KG. I agree with you, KG.
I don't think so.
I disagree.
It's only the short. I feel it's only the short. Hold on, let me get these super chats out, and we'll bring in Owen and you, KG. You can debate that. Ben says we're getting better, just not creating the same quality of chances in 2 halves. True. Also, Ralph taking off a midfielder when chasing a goal just causes chaos.
Yeah, I think so.
And Lil Yo-Yo says, shout out to Rannick for making changes to the side. More cojones than the previous manager. We aren't clinical. It's not over until the fat lady sings. Which is kind of what Marcel is saying. It's a Liverpool fan, I believe. Oh no, I can't. Oh no, I can see the shirt. Sorry, I can see it now. No, Liverpool winning trophies. Us talking about possibly getting top 4. Says Arvind, 100%, bro. It's a joke. This is where we're at. We do not want to be on here saying, "Do you think we're going to get top 4? Do you think it's like? What do you reckon? Like maybe? Do you think we finish 5th? Maybe 6th?"
Rather be the title debate.
100%. Exactly. I'm sure a lot of Liverpool and Man City fan content wherever it lies. I'm sure their creators are having a great time battling it out. Owen and KG. I mean, Owen. Firstly, you're saying on the top 4, and secondly, into basically, and we'll all talk about it. What KG was saying about Ralph maybe didn't get the subs right.
Do you know what? I do lean slightly towards Marcel on this one, in that I think it's very easy to go top 4 done, because it's not. It isn't. I saw people yesterday going, "Oh, top 4's over, it's over." I mean, it isn't. I mean, it's really unlikely. We're hanging on by a thread. I've said that after March, we'll know. We'll probably know next weekend. Let's be honest. If we lose to City, probably then you can start going, that gap's massive. Arsenal, they got 2 games in hand over us, and they're 1 point behind. If they win those games in hand, which one of them I think is against Chelsea, right?
No, they gained the system. They gained the system. They've managed to get rid of that fixture, and it's going to get replayed another time. So they don't even have that scheduled right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
still going to play.
Arsenal got 3 games in hand.
We're still going to play KG, but they're meant to play at a critical time, KG. Do you get it? They're meant to play amongst all these games, and that would cause a problem. But they've managed to get rid of that fixture somehow.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop us losing games or drawing games, is it? That I think ultimately, we've got to take our own destiny in our own hands there. But I think that, like I said, I think after March we'll know we're hanging on by a thread. We're dropping points against silly teams, so we forced ourselves to beat big teams, which massive ask. But like I said, I think it's a bit of a step to go. It's over because ultimately we don't know. We're also assuming that in the same way we've been inconsistent, that the people that are our rivals, they're going to be super consistent as well. Nobody's been that consistent this season. So as I've said a couple of times, I think a lot will change between now and the end of the season. Certainly not favourites, and certainly it's not in our own hands either now. And that's the problem that we have. When it comes to what KG was saying yesterday, when it comes to the changes, I mean, you could say, bring Luke Shaw on was a bad thing, but also does Luke Shaw coming on stop Ronaldo, Bruno, Alanga, all of those people missing chances? I mean, I don't know if you can fault. I don't know if you can fault Ralph that much. I thought his team selection was fine yesterday. I thought we did. I mean, I know James is saying we didn't create enough chances, but as Ralph said, we created more than enough to win. I don't think Ralph can do much more than that. You can talk about was bringing Luke Shaw on enough to maybe change the game, all that kind of stuff. He threw on essentially every attacker he had, and they still couldn't score goals. I mentioned it in yesterday's match reaction. If that happens one day, like when we played Middlesbrough at the beginning of the year, and you go, tell you what, for some reason, we missed so many chances today. It's one of those days. One of those days has happened, 3 times in the last 2 months? That's not one of those days after that. That's a mentality issue. That's a composure issue. And me and DJ were debating yesterday. I don't know what more Ralph Rangnick can do with that. I really don't, apart from saying
I agree.
You were doing finishing drills for the next 72 hours, literally all day, every day, because maybe that's what you need. I don't know. I really don't know.
Just these quick super chats. Super chats here. I've had a glass at one of them. Andrew C is back and he's likening Marcel to Ty. He says, flex me again. How come you got Ty?
You're cheat. You're not disgrace. You're cheat.
He says, flex me again. How come you got Ty in the top right-hand corner? Marcel is delusional. We ain't winning any of the 3 Premier League games in March. Even 3 draws won't do. Marcel, anything to say back to Andrew? All in jest, of course, but anything to reply back to Andrew? Basically saying
you're
that...
disgrace.
Because that's how you do see it. We can do something.
100%. It's not done. It's not done. So at the end of the day, if we can get a draw, like I said, out of City, and a win out of Tottenham, it's not in our hands. Like I was saying, I even said on the fan cam, it's not in our hands. We've given that away, but it's still possible. So we'll see what happens.
It looks like Marcel is the star of this show. Because there's another super chat here. I don't know how true this is. Maybe you could shed some light. Do you know someone called Ishak? He says, big up, boys.
No.
Big up, guys. Oh, okay, I was playing footy with Marcel the other day, and he told me he was as good as Zidane. But all he did was headbutt me in the chest. So I don't know who you've been playing football with, if you've been headbutting anyone.
No, I haven't been headbutting anyone. What the hell?
I don't know, Marcel. They're just, for some reason, I don't know. They're onto you today.
It's a short joke, isn't it? It's a short joke about him.
You can't handle his positivity. It's like everyone's depressed and they're coming at the guy that's smiling.
That's being positive. But actually, Red Baron does say football can surprise us. And let's go. This has been in support of you, Marcel. Football can surprise us. Let's not be over negative with everything. Going from Jose/Oli, slow tempo football to Rouse football is a big change. And actually, that's the bit where, there is another side to this. And not just Marcel, there's loads of fans who still believe that, it is possible. And one thing I have learned with this season, I will say, for my 10 pence before we move on, is this season has just been a roller coaster in that area of the table. Everyone's crap. It looks like Arsenal are showing the most consistency right now. And I think Arsenal are the ones who actually are beating who they're supposed to beat and probably losing to who they should lose to, like Liverpool, Chelsea, and like Man City and stuff by small margins. And then a couple of little bad results. But other than that, they're winning the games that they on paper should win. And it puts them in good stead. I think if they come out of that little tough run where they've got like Liverpool and they have to play Spurs and that little period there in Chelsea, is it? I don't know, man. We still got to go there.
Arsenal still got to play the same games we got to play.
They've got to play Chelsea away. They've got to play Liverpool.
And us.
And the North London derby and us at the Emirates as well. So they've got hard games as well.
That's my point. That is my
change.
point. That we're assuming reverse that we're inconsistent and everyone else around us is super consistent, but nobody is. And I saw a super chat there where it said, was it possible but not probable? And I think that's my feeling on it. That's that, again, it's not in our hands, and it's probably not likely. But I think it's a bit soon to be like, we're definitely not going to get it. Because this season has proved that we have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah,
that's
with
what
anything. Well, look at Spurs. Look at
saying.
Spurs last game against Burnley. Conte was going to walk out the door. Obviously, everyone he plays against Leeds mashes up Leeds. That's the perfect game to bounce back. It's true. Bielsa's gone. All that gas. Even some people on this channel were saying to me, not you guys, sometimes in the free seats and the comments, and that people say, nah, Flex, he plays good football. And then I was doing the overview and that. But I'm like, anyway, this ain't about Leeds because we're in a mess ourselves. But still, what
you talking about? Bielsa the Stallion. Yeah,
exactly.
Nah, bro, he's a loser, fam.
100%.
Yeah, bro.
But 1 game ago, to my point, 1 game ago, it was Conte. They play against Leeds, back in it. If they can get another couple of wins, couple games in hand over us, before you know it, they're 1 point behind us. Do you know what I mean? And still
before that, they beat City.
And before that, they beat City. So crazy stuff does happen. Lil Yo-Yo says, I really wonder what the sports psychologists are doing. We need to get their mentality really sorted. And Destiny says, Bruno and Ronaldo were killing us yesterday. Super chat here from David says, that's the one you're talking about, Owen. Possible, but not probable. And John says, I am a Man United fan and we are fart. Yeah, fart. And Ray Diaz says, fans, when we win, definitely top 4. Draw or loss, no chance. Fire everyone. Teams playing better since Ralph. Frustrating. Can't find the net, but much better. More of like a less reactionary thing. Basically, what Ray's saying is it's very difficult. When we win, we maybe go overboard. When we lose, it's like it's all going to end. And Blue Abidi Abadai says, are we not going to talk about the generational right back Wan-Bissaka? He has class. He was class the other day. Same with Lindelof, Varane, and Telles. Had some wicked crosses.
Almost assist.
Or do you know what? When Ronaldo hit the post, I was thinking KG could have had his moment. Ronaldo was like, nah.
We're celebrating almost at this point. Almost got an assist.
It would never have been the same again. They would have
He gave away the ball twice. He passed the ball into Pogba in the midfield. Pogba then he loses the ball.
Get out of here. He had a good game.
No, he's not having it.
Move on.
That shares Aaron Wan-Bissaka generation.
Half of the time he should cross, he ends up passing it back to Bruno in that little pocket for Bruno to do it.
We're doing this now.
We're not doing this. No, we're not.
I was gonna say, we're not. Wait, hold on.
We're not.
No. KG. No.
We're not. Moving on. Patrick says Ronaldo's just a poor man's Andy Carroll. Shake my head.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Obviously that's his right to have his opinion. James, going forward, we spoke about this yesterday. I thought it was interesting. I kind of left the day or the evening or whatever kind of sticking in my head. When it's like, it doesn't matter who's playing. Like, Man United just never really get the results that we want long term. Whether we go back in time to it should be Marcel up front, or it should be Rashford here, or it should be this, or it should be that. Drop Maguire, should be this. Wan-Bissaka, no. Dalot this. Telles that. It doesn't matter what happens midfield. No, Pogba should be here because he's better with McTominay or better. It never matters who plays in the positions. We're kind of getting this same kind of vibe, although we are playing better in patches. Frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter really, mate. It's a mentality issue, isn't it? At the club, we've talked about it several times, but it doesn't matter the 11 he puts on the pitch. Like, I did have a slight problem with the starting 11 yesterday because I saw Fred and Matic playing against 19th in the league at home. I didn't think he needed to play both of them. And maybe he doesn't trust Fred or Matic to play in a lone six like he does trust McTominay to do that.
Yeah,
and maybe that's the reason he did it. I don't know. But ultimately, it doesn't matter who we play, mate. If you look at results recently, right, and I know the guys were saying we don't know what's going to happen, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? We've drawn against Burnley. We've drawn against Southampton. We've drawn against Newcastle. We've drawn against Watford. We drew against Middlesbrough. We drew against Villa. And you guys are expecting us to win and get top 4? Like, we're picking the same 11, a different 11. we're bringing different people in, we're getting the same result. So why do you guys expect it to change? I'm all for positivity if I have a reason, right? But you have to give me a reason. And saying that everyone else is inconsistent, we're consistently not good enough. Forget inconsistent. We are consistently not good enough at the moment. And I didn't think I'd be taking this route, but I don't see enough from this Man United team. Like Flex said, irrelevant of who we put out, whether it is, Dallo or the generational talent Wan-Bissaka at right back, sarcasm, mate. Whether that was
yeah, take your bomb back. Take your bomb back. Take that. Unpress the button, bro. Nah, unpress the button. Unpress the button.
Whether it's Tellers or Shaw. Whether it's Tellers or Shaw at left back, it doesn't matter. Honestly, it really doesn't matter who we play. There's a huge mentality issue at the club. I know one of the super chats said it. And at the end of the day, it said, what's the sports psychologist doing? I don't know what he's doing, but he needs to seriously earn his wages between now and the end of the season, because we've got a big shift in attitude and mentality needed to get any kind of results this season.
Jeremy says, KG,
let's just give up.
The Aaron Wan-Bissaka bombs tweet ready in the draft yesterday. Yeah, he swiftly deleted it. I'd hate to see your draft. I'd hate to see your drafts.
I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, because he will do something one day. So yeah,
as I told you, I've got my dream in it.
One day he's gonna do something. 100%. Lil Yo-Yo says, I'll admit Aaron Wan-Bissaka's been good, but Bruckfoot's still there. Tamara says, last player from yesterday, Wan-Bissaka, Rashford, and Bruno. And that's what the people are saying.
I won't put Wan-Bissaka in that. I thought the other two were bad, but Wan-Bissaka wasn't one of the worst. No.
Thank you.
Red Baron says, I disagree, Flex. It does matter who plays occasionally. Maguire didn't play and our line went up. I think Owen agreed yesterday too. That's a fair point.
That is true.
Baron.
That is true. We played a higher line and we caught them offside a couple of times yesterday because we were able to play a higher line.
I didn't see much on because I was so pissed off. I'll just be honest with you, I just didn't watch it. Any of Ralph's post-match stuff? I didn't. I saw one quote. Did he mention anything about why Maguire wasn't starting and why there was so much training? It was just.
I think he said before the game. He just said we got back really late. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, and because of that, was it 3 games in how many days? 7 or 8 days, something like that. So there was rotation.
Not gonna lie, Ralph. I done the flights like 2 hours. It's not really. I wasn't really tired when I come back, and it's not really. I was up till late. I didn't go to bed till 3:30 in the morning. My flight was at 12:20 from Madrid to Heathrow. I weren't really tired. It was.
I was unaware Flex was playing 9 minutes of football in the Champions League when he was out there as well. He was practically on the pitch, to be fair. Josh definitely was. Josh definitely was behind the goal.
He's got more reason to be tired than a lot of them.
Understand this? Them hugs and them pictures take you out of you. So
they do. That is true. Handshakes are draining. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they can be. Oh, good. But no, we have played a lot of games recently. That's what some people are saying. That's why Ronaldo looks a little bit shot as well, because Cavani's just clocked out on whatever he's doing.
I hope he's all right though, Cavani.
What do you mean? It's just
DJ's
what do you mean?
gone.
There's no
Listen,
that sounded very sincere, KG.
What do you mean?
That sounded incredibly sincere.
What, you think there's something bigger than just the same thing where he's just always injured?
Yeah, there's something bigger, man.
What do you mean?
Like,
you acted like it's some big, just taking time out of the game.
Like,
I hope he's okay.
You've been spending too much time around KG, DJ, if you think that's the case, because honestly, here you're going, I tell you what, he's out injured. Maybe it means something else. He's always available for Uruguay. Interesting.
I tell you now, I love
spaghetti analysis.
I love Edison Cavani, but you can't kid a kidder, man. He's pulling a sickie, man. He's pulling sickies for whatever reason. He's pulling sickies, man.
His mum's writing a note.
Because he's been in, because when you're in employment, when you've been there longer than 6 months, you get the sick pay.
Yeah.
That's what he's on. That's what he's on, bro. He's on that.
I think it's more than that.
He's used up his annual leave.
I think it's more than that. I think, when you're in school and you have to get your parent to write a note why you can't do PE. I think it's like that. It says from Edison crossed out, my mum instead.
Wait a minute.
That's what it is.
So wait, do we all believe, honestly, just in terms of the way Cavani approach games and the way he is on a pitch in terms of energy, this, that, and the other, do we think that he's going to be like a scumbag and just say, I'm not playing on purpose?
Do you know what I think? Yeah, conspiracy theory. I think he was injured, but I think now he's at a level where he probably could play, but he's just choosing not to, isn't it?
I think Ralph, if you listen to what Ralph has said a couple of times, the way he does phrase it, is he doesn't feel like he's capable of training, or he doesn't feel like he's capable of playing. So I will say that I think Ralph kind of looks at it a little bit like, if he wanted to, he probably could play. You know,
there was one press conference where Ralph said, I can't remember how many games ago it was. Ralph was like, sorry, what's it? Sirius says, how do we actually fix the wage structure? Sai. Yeah, a lot of people talking about that, and that's going to take ages. Destiny says Booker T Wan-Bissaka 5 times WCW champion. Actually had a decent game.
I'm saying Zen KG. I'm not.
David says, I can't argue that Varane and Lindelof should be starting over the current captain. The Iceman is in form. Yeah, he looked really comfortable yesterday. Both of them did. Let me make sure there's no super chats. Yeah, Ralph said in one presser about Cavani. I can't remember which game it was. Owen, you covered the presses, so you might remember better than I do. And he was like, well, yeah, I thought it was available up until someone came and told me.
He basically said, we did training, and I thought, right, and he's sort of penciling in, he goes, Cavani, knock at the door, doctor goes, Cavani can't play. He's like, what? Cavani can't play.
He's like, but I just saw him training. He was just
I just saw him training. I'm telling you, there was a note slid under the door. Cavani's mum. That's what it said.
He's pulling sickies, boy.
Edison can't play. No, but he just said that his groin's tight and he can't run. And then Ralph said in the last press conference, if he doesn't feel that he can run, doesn't make any sense for him to train, so he's not available.
Do you know what I do think? Though? Obviously, you don't want to do conspiracy theories as well. We have a little bit of fun with it. But the real, actually honest thing of what I do think, I just think he's at the stage of his career where he's had loads of injuries. He's used to long-term injuries. He knows what it's like. And as soon as he feels a little thing where like a player in his peak of his career or young and hungry with everything to play for and all that would play through the pain barrier, get injections or act like it's not there and run through it. He's just like, I just don't need to take that risk.
Do you want an 80% Cavani as well? I suppose that's the question.
Yeah,
would you want a 70% Cavani? Because he would if he was 70%, he would probably come on and then be like, he'd come off. I'm injured.
And when he does play, look, I'm not disrespecting the guy. When he's a cult hero at Man United, some may argue that that's come a little bit too. When you think how much he's actually played versus what he's missed, he's got quite a high status for someone who hardly plays, because when he does, he usually impacts the game. But I just feel like, we asked him to stay and he cleared the air and said he wanted to stay here, but we just haven't got a tune out of him at all. So what?
I bet he does something.
Of course, that can happen. That can
now
happen.
to the end of the season.
That can happen, of course.
He'll contribute. Yeah,
Ronaldo needs help, man.
I'm not saying he's done out here. Yeah, we'll get onto that one actually. Lil Yo-Yo says, the Uruguay Mafia are on Ralph to not play Cavani. And Gasha says, KG to replace CR37 for the rest of the season. They heard you say he was a striker. So.
He doesn't move like one.
Then come on, guys. There's not like, end of the day, am I a fox in the box time for striker?
What type of striker are you? Can we talk about that real quick? Just like a light,
I would like to know.
60 seconds.
Like to know.
Can you?
He's a lead in the shed striker. Lead in the shed, mate. Lead in the shed.
I'm a Tevez. All action.
Tevez.
No.
Tevez.
Luca
So you do run about a lot.
Luca Tony at best.
Over the pitch.
Luca Tony at best.
Luca Tony at best.
All these jokes are getting real funny. All I can see is the week.
KG, I reckon you play like I don't know, like
who the hell am I? Don't say Victor Nchibi or something.
No, I was gonna say a light Yakubu.
No.
You were going to say Akin Fenwa, weren't you? You were going to say Akin Fenwa.
No, I weren't going to say that one. I weren't going to say
a light Yakubu.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And they call me a bully. They call me a bully, KG.
Or like a Benjani.
Do you know who he's
I
like,
can see
actually? Do you know who
Since
KG's
we're on
like?
it, wait, hold on. Since we're on it, everyone say who they think they're like.
Do you know what I think you play like?
Play this game. Let's quickly play this game. Go on. Before you say who I am.
Okay.
DJ,
all right, James, we'll start with you. I don't know why the conversation's gone.
I know who Marcel is, bruv. He's Benjani, fam. Get the hell out of here, fam. Bruv. I'm cool.
I'm left-footed. Firstly, I'm left-footed.
No, man.
Tell him, Marcel. Tell him.
I'm left-footed, firstly.
Get the hell out of here, bruv.
He's Ian Nacho, bruv.
Oh, it could be.
KG,
go on. Oh, no, who's DJ?
James, who are you most like?
Michael Carrick.
Okay. Get the hell out of here.
We'll play, you'll see.
He said it.
We'll play, you'll see.
He's
it.
controlling nothing, bro.
All right, he's pulling strings.
He's
James is saying he's
Pulling
fucking Carrick.
strings. Let's go.
I need to hear this one. DJ, who are you most like?
I've been told I play like
Gotta be Antonio.
Whoa, hold on.
Gotta be
I've been told.
Antonio.
I don't even wait there. I don't even know what player it is. But who told you this? Who told you?
You know what it is? All my boys, isn't it? Because we used to play proper competitive football, man. And
There we go.
All right.
Henry.
yeah, no, to be honest, I've been told that I used to play like
What are you, bro?
so I'm a winger, innit? I'm a left winger, so I've been told I play like kind of like Nani.
Oh,
But I think KG plays like Evac Blake.
wait.
Max Blake, man.
Yeah, remember
That's a
Evac
shout.
Blake?
That's a
Yo.
shout.
Wait, let's ask this big question. Have you ever played like in a team like in that? Have you ever played like for a team for a while?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many assists and goals?
I had about what for a season?
Whatever.
I only had about only 10 assists.
You're not Nanny. Robbie.
I'm a luxury player. I don't like to do the defensive work. Can't lie.
Oh my god.
All right, quickly, Marcel, who did you say you was?
Nobody. I haven't said anyone.
Oh yeah,
Chris Kayman Benjani. I don't know. Any left-footed winger or 10. I can play in the 10. I'm left-footed.
And then
You can do everything.
next to flex, you got bloody Darren Gibson, bro.
Oh, and he's going Darren Gibson.
I would say Andros Townsend. Andros Townsend's all right.
Andros Townsend.
Or Robin.
Oh,
Robin.
You go from Andros
Come on.
Townsend to Robin.
There's levels, mate.
You know Marcel's
Big
feeling
up
himself
Andros.
now.
Hey,
Yeah, Robin.
Owen, who are you? You got to defend yourself because KG said you're a light Gibson.
Yeah.
He's a
Darren
keeper.
Gibson, I'm a keeper, so I'd probably say I'm probably a less athletic Massimo Taibi.
No, Owen, big yourself up. Don't do that, man.
Owen's such a nice guy. That's why he doesn't even.
Van der Gaal, man. Van der
I
Gaal.
take
Remember Van der Gaal?
Darren
Yeah,
Gibson
Van der
comment. I take
Wow.
that. You're not
I'm Blue Abdi says Marcel is Dan James.
I got paid, man.
Bro, what's going on?
I'm quick, guys. I'm
What are they
quick.
sending for you, bro?
I'm
Chrissy
quick, man. I'm
2,
sharp.
Chrissy
I
2
got
says KG looks like he twerks a lot.
Liberty. So who? What players?
Oh.
And Ray Diaz says, just stream the United View football match live. Yeah, we need to do that. That'd
We
be
need
all
to
right.
do it. We need
Go
to do
for
it.
it.
We need
Little
to.
nine, we can set up a 9-a-side or 8-a-side or whatever. Cam the coach.
We'd be the.
I would
As
never
if
play for
KG's
Cavani.
taken
That's what he
instruction. As
says.
if KG's taken instruction from that. He's getting released.
We'll be the best team though, because hold on, Flex. Who are you?
I play most. My playing style's probably most like Drogba. I'll probably say Drogba. Playing style's most like Drogba or like a light. Obviously, Van Nistelrooy in his prime, he's like a. So probably a cross between the two best ever strikers, or two of the best ever strikers in the game. Probably them two.
Yeah. Jesus. Man said Drogba.
Our team, yeah. We've got a team out here. We basically got
Drogba.
Drogba up front.
We got Carrick sitting.
Carrick. We got Nanny.
Yeah. But this is what I mean. We're football fans. We just talk absolute shit.
Yeah.
Like, we do.
We got a
We
cool
do.
master.
No, but I'm all right. I played I was all right. I scored in the FA Cup. I could say that. I scored in the FA Cup.
We need a
Have you,
defender.
KG? Have you scored in the FA Cup?
No, I went to St. George's Park and I got cramped. I got cramped.
But,
It's a big pitch.
KG is Akinfenwa on the United channel.
Yeah, he is.
That's,
No, you lot, seriously, I'm underestimated. And one day we have to get it on. We have to get it on. As I said, I'm dropping weight and it's gonna happen. We have to
Love it.
I'm ready. I'm already ready.
Yeah, bring it on.
turn up.
I've seen Marcel's comp videos, bro. I've seen him driving through midfield, sliding back. I've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've
Really?
seen it.
Still.
I've
I've seen
seen
him.
it.
I've seen him with a wing play.
I've seen it,
Seen him do
bro.
some wing play.
I've
I'm
seen
Robin,
it.
man. I'm right.
Yeah, I've seen a light little Marcel's
He's
in his
all right.
thing. Mill says, KG, salute my team, LFC, United Banter Season. One of KG's Liverpool fans there.
I hate Liverpool so much. But well done, Liverpool. Because look what we're doing right now, bro. Liverpool are winning titles, and we're trying to wonder if we can get top 4. Something's happened. Something.
100%.
I can't believe this idiot said that he plays like Drogba, though.
Why?
Plays like Kevin
Why?
Davis.
Even that,
Why?
it just sunk
Someone
in.
in the free seat said Bebe.
It's just, but the thing is, it's just perception, isn't it? Because I know, yeah, the way I play football is like that. Like Drogba wasn't prolific. And when you actually think of like the amount of goals he scored, 20 plus goals each
Drogba's
time,
one of the best
he
African
wasn't that
players ever, bro. What are you talking about?
He's got over 100 in the Premier League.
Drogba
he
used
weren't
to
prolific though.
Drogba used to make Vidic and Rio.
But how that's what I'm saying. So it's not like the first thing you think about Drogba is just goal scoring machine, because year after year he's like an Aguero, he's like a Kane, year after year 25 goals. But he's an absolute bully, and he can score goals. That's myself.
Important goals as well.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Like look at Drogba's scoring record. You'd be surprised he didn't score as many goals as you actually think he did. Seriously, real talk. I think he only had like one season that was like 20 plus. Anyway, David G's, but he's top player. Flex plays like Kevin Davis, all elbows, Arsenal elbows, the 100%. I'm on that.
I'll take a Gallo. I'll take a Gallo one. That's a good
Gallo. Yeah, 100%. I wanted to talk about, since we are on the topic of strikers, does Ronaldo need more support?
Yes.
You know, in terms of what? So, but at the expense, and this is free for everyone to just kind of get in on this, at the expense of changing our formation when we know we're not that adaptable. Like all we know is 4-2-3-1. Really?
Can I jump in first?
Of course.
I want to say the Ronaldo thing, and this is someone was alluding to it before, but Ralph is doing something at this club, and it's a shame when you talk about the time frame. It's just not enough time for him to get it all across, because we're playing some good. I know we say we play these small teams and we're not even creating chances, bro. We're creating chances for fun. When I'm saying that, there's a style of play, there's a way that we're better, we're easier on the eye. There's a lot more that even you said yesterday, we would say we were good for 75 minutes. When it got closer to the 80, then we started doing stupid stuff like desperation, because the mentality wasn't there to say, you know what, keep playing, our goal will come. I think that went, and they started worrying, saying, oh, it's another draw. So there's that part mentality wise, but in terms of football, it's coming. You know what I mean? Now Ronaldo is in bad form. It has to be just seen as, it doesn't need to change everything to accommodate him, but he just has to be more clinical in his finishing. That's all it takes, because I'm seeing a lot of positives in the way we're playing. A lot of positives. Even yesterday, Tellez, we were asking who's the best left back, or who's the best defensive player that goes forward. And I don't know what everyone's saying, but it's clear Tellez is the one.
No,
Tellez is the.
I don't think he attacks like that.
Okay,
I'm
so
not gonna lie.
Who's better than? So who's the one? Who's the best?
You know what? I just think both him and Shaw are just okay. Like for me, Shaw gives me what I like in terms of a bit of pace. He's got way more pace than Tellez. He'll hit the byline when he wants to. That's a whole nother argument. Like only when he wants to.
Never wants to.
But I think Tellez, he doesn't really beat the last man a lot. He doesn't really do that a lot for me. Anyways, more of his crosses come from.
Before you lot carry on, I'm just doing super chats right now while you lot thrash it out. Waiting for Man United to win a trophy. Nice name. Says first day of waiting.
You'll be there a while.
I feel like KG plays like Fellaini. Forget it. The hair is not there.
That's a part.
That is so disrespectful. And Ray Diaz says Cam on the sideline with an iPad. 100% Cam will be doing that. I've read that one already. And yeah, carry on off the back of what DJ was saying. So,
no, seriously, I don't know what DJ's talking about. Shaw being better than Tellez. Like,
I never said that. I just said both of them are okay.
No, Tellez.
He did say both of them are okay.
I'm saying that.
Trying to draw him out, man.
KG's a sick guy, you know.
Sure.
KG's saying stuff that didn't really get said.
We're not going to deflect from this. I'm staying on this, bro. Shaw is doing nothing, guys. We have to be real. We got look at it for as many years as it's been. Yeah, I'm saying the ball goes, and we were worse. When he comes on, it's not like he offers anything. Even when we talk about Nemanja Matic had a good game yesterday. He had a good game. Shaw and Sancho come on, and the link up was not like how it was before. I know Sancho likes to take his time, like to beat a man, nutmeg and stuff like that. So he slows it down, then he'll go for it. Now it just weren't overlapping, bombing on and just trying to make it happen. It wasn't happening. And Shaw, I guarantee you, he's not overlapping Sancho. No way. He
was though in the last couple of games. He was, bro. He was. And Tellers don't really do that.
And look at the cross, bro. Who's hit and hope? Hit and hope. Nothing in it, bro.
Luke Shaw got an assist against Burnley. That was the best I've seen him play in a long time in that first half.
Hit and hope specialist, bro. I'm telling you. Hit and hope specialist. This is, and we can see it. Like, even yesterday, I was like, you look, watch it for yourself. Because not like I'm just trying to dig man out for no reason. We're seeing there's a difference to someone that can cross and get exactly to where it needs to get to. And that's one thing that we get in the games we've seen Tellers play. He has been better. Yeah.
He is a better crosser. I do agree with that. David G says Ronnie can't play number 9 at 37 in the Prem. He gets bullied. He's supposed to have a good vertical leap, but never wins flick-ons. No hold-up play, no press. Marcel, you was very kind of strong on saying that he got bullied yesterday, Ronaldo, and it's been a bit of a common theme. How do you see that? Is it a case of because of his age and because he hasn't got the powers anymore, it's the only thing he can offer is scoring, which is obviously his main job. But other than that, there's not much else there.
He's playing a lot of games, isn't it? He's playing a lot of games, and we rarely have anyone in the box joining him in the box because Bruno keeps coming back into the defensive line or into the midfield line to put in these crosses for Wan-Bissaka. And he just doesn't like to be a focal point in the box scoring the headers a lot of the time. So and he got flattened by Ben Foster in the game. A lot of challenges happening to him. It's just a bit too physical. And then when he finally does get the moments to shoot and score, he's not making the right decisions. He wants to cut back a lot of the time. It's a bit give me a younger striker on half his wages. They're just gonna offer me a lot more running.
I think they're gonna affect the game a lot more. James, do you agree with that? I see you nodding. How do you see it? Because look, it's Ronaldo, isn't it? Everyone, he's our legend, he's our guy, and it's like sometimes people don't really want to say maybe how they truly feel about it or what they can sense deep down. But how do you see it?
It's almost illegal to criticize CR7 in our fan base, isn't it? Like at the end of the day, like he's made his career on being a goal scorer, right? Or definitely the last 15 or so years of it. And in the last couple of years, he's been a bit of a stat padder, but that's absolutely fine when you're stat padding and when you're scoring. The problem at the moment is he's not scoring, so he's not contributing anything else to the game. His hold-up play is not there, his link-up play is not there, his pressing's not there, his physicality is not there. So that's all okay if you're scoring goals, but he's not scoring goals and taking chances, which is the one thing, well, apart from commercially, it's the one thing we actually signed him for on the pitch. So, I mean, the original question was like, does he need help, right? He clearly needs help. I mean, Marcel talked about, like, and you talked about Marcel and letting him go earlier on in the season. You have to remember that we had Greenwood, Cavani as options at that time, right? We've both, like, recently we figured out they're both not options at the moment for one reason or another. So all of a sudden, Ronaldo is basically our only option, unless we want to go down a false 9 route or give Alanga a chance through the middle. He's basically our only option.
That was never the plan, was it? That was.
I mean, Ronaldo was never the plan originally, if you go back to it. I mean, Solskjaer was breeding for Sancho on the right, like Rashford on the left and Greenwood up top, right? And literally he was playing like a 4-3-3, a quick counter team and do that and hit them on the break. So it was never part of the plan, but like I said, you get a chance to sign the go and you sign him, don't you? And at the beginning of the season, he was scoring goals, which is what he was brought in to do. And he scored goals in big moments. Remember the Villarreal game, the Atalanta game. He was doing it again and again. Big players stepping up in big moments. Unfortunately, when he's not been doing that recently, criticism has to come, and it's only fair. No one's immune from it, guys. It doesn't matter whether doesn't matter whether he's the greatest of all time, right? No one is immune from criticism, and no one loves Cristiano Ronaldo more than me and what he's done for the club. But unfortunately, he is on the decline from where he's been, and he's not playing well enough at the moment for Manchester United.
And this is the thing, just quickly, is that I rather live the uncomfortable truth than live the beautiful lie, innit? The uncomfortable truth is that the man is losing his powers, innit? At 37, we cannot be expecting him to be the Ronaldo of old. It's just not possible in the most competitive, tough league in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's tough for him. And I'm telling you now, like, up against City and Liverpool, they're going to do their due diligence on him. And I'm telling you now, he's not going to get a lick. He's not going to get a kick of the ball. I'm telling you, they're going to be all over it because he's Ronaldo.
Ralph should have taken him off yesterday.
Should have.
Yeah.
That was KG, right? On that point, let me get the super chats out because that was the next bit. Leo says, I trust Tellers more than Shaw at the moment. Shaw's positional sense is shocking. At least Aaron Wan-Bissaka is giving something and is genuinely challenging Dallo. Basically, on that side, there's a bit more competition. Tariq says, KG, forget plays but he is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. KG, forget.
I don't know.
Plays
So
like.
he's basically saying he doesn't play like Wan-Bissaka, but he is Wan-Bissaka.
Oh, forget plays like, but he
yeah.
is Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Tabara says, why didn't we give Watford the Guard of Honor yesterday? They helped us get rid of the worst manager in our history. What's happening? KG talking sense as well, says Tavares.
It's that comment again.
Backhanded compliment.
We've
Yeah,
stopped the
it is such a
trolls.
backhanded compliment.
Yeah. We've got rid of the spammers.
KG being rational. What's going on?
I know, I can't believe it.
Fam.
RK says Liverpool could actually win the quadruple. They have won 5 trophies since we actually won 1. Haven't lost in all competitions since December.
Wait.
It's scary.
Wait, they can't win the quadruple, can they?
They won't, but they can. Yeah.
Yeah, they can. They can. They're still in the FA Cup, aren't they? They just won that Carabao Cup. Still in the Champions League.
Who else is in the FA Cup?
No, not Arsenal. Chelsea, City. I want to say out of the big teams.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So,
I think so.
We can't.
Whatever.
There's no world that we can live in, guys. I thought that, like, literally, when Liverpool win the Champions League, I'm used to it. So it's like, it's annoying, but it's like, you see our thing, like it's like Arsenal, what they have with the Invincibles. Like, it's still a beautiful thing to have in it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so they want to protect that. You see, if a club goes out and wins the
quadruple is ridiculous.
Kills the treble, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course it does.
Go home, sit down, like.
Let's not put that into the atmosphere. Let's not. David says, should CR7 be coming off the bench as an impact sub? Who would you start? Not named Cavani at the 9, which we're going to talk about in a second. And Play Simple says Pogba is safe with Fred in midfield. Varane and Lindelof are establishing a good chemistry. Are slowly establishing a good chemistry. We just need Bruno to play smart with CR7. Therefore, he needs help from our left backs and right backs, just like Real Madrid days. And I think there's another super chat here. Let me get that out. Red Baron, big up to you again, bro. Says the casting characters here are amazing. Big laughs every time the full view comes on. 100% Red Baron. That's what it is, man. All the characters are in here. That was KG. You touched on it, and that was going to be my next thing. Who dances the best between y'all? Says Hugh. Depends whether it's on roller skates or not.
Definitely me, bro.
Owen shaking his head. Owen's like, why is no one saying it? What do you mean? Like, why is it KG?
No, I was saying I'm not even in that conversation. There's no chance. I don't even
be on some save the last.
No. I don't even show up to that party. I'm like, no way. They go, well, they're going, there's a dance off. I'm going, I'm not there. I'm not going. No,
fair enough. Got know your limits, innit? Know your limits.
Yeah.
But with Ronaldo, I was talking to earlier in the season. You know, when we all have that little bit of ignorance because you want to back your players, innit? So right at the beginning of the season, I was talking to Darren Bent, and he was saying, like, we were just exchanging messages, and when he was like, listen, I'm telling you now, I've been a striker. You know when someone's played it, they're telling you, like, because they've been there and done it, and it's like, I'm like, shut up, Darren. Shut up. He's like, I've been a striker. I'm telling you now, him in that dressing room, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. And the manager's going to feel like he can't take him off. And in the end, and he was basically just calling a lot of what's happened now. I hope he's not watching this.
He's
I hope he's not watching this.
He's right in a sense.
Yeah.
Ran it yesterday, and it's hard because you take him off, and what do you bring on? You bring on Rashford, who's in poor form himself. So it's like, but he had to be taken off yesterday. Yeah. That was the change that you said to yourself, you haven't deserved to play. And it might sting Ronaldo, it might hurt, but he's taken off Pogba. He's dropped Maguire. So we're a step away from that bigger decision.
There's been a couple of times where he's taken. Look at Brentford. Brentford, he didn't play. He didn't start another game.
Yesterday was the game to take off Ronaldo, because again, it just wasn't. I'm not saying.
When we badly needed a goal and we were pushing, throwing on all the attacking players.
This was my point. That was my point. First of all, if you take, and I know this is part of the problem, but it's 0-0, you're chasing the game, you need a goal, you take off Ronaldo. That's a massive statement in general, right? Because even if he's not playing well, you can't deny that he could play terrible for 89 minutes and score in the 90th. Like, you just,
that's
there a player that
what
you
he
think
is now.
that?
That's literally
that's literally what it is. On top of that, I do think if Ranić had an option, if he had another number 9 on the bench that he could take off Ronaldo for, he probably would have done it. Yeah, but he turned around and looked at his bench. He probably looked at his bench and went, who? Who am I bringing on?
It's true.
Are you going to back Jesse Lingard to come in as a false 9 and take that?
No.
Yeah,
last
exactly.
chance in the
That's an
90th
even
minute
bigger call.
over Ronaldo?
That's an even bigger call.
Yeah.
Not only taking off Ronaldo, you're shifting Bruno to false 9 and bringing on Lingard. Because if that doesn't pay off, they're going, "What on earth is he doing?" Because and that's a massive risk, isn't it?
I think he's stuck. I think he's stuck.
Look at the scrutiny when he takes him off.
There. I think he's stuck.
Look at
between
the
a rock and a
scrutiny
hard
when he
place,
takes him off and we're winning. When we're winning and we're defending the lead, he takes him off. And everyone goes, zoom on Ronaldo. Oh, what's he doing? He can't get his coat on. He throws his coat up in the air. Imagine that's at 0-0.
Let me ask a big question. Show says shouldn't have signed Ronaldo, signed a 35 plus old striker the season before, then signed another one. Idiotic recruitment.
That's easy to say now.
Exactly. No,
I can't say that.
People,
and until the season,
now look where we are. Forget whether it was a mistake buying him, because like you said, it's easy. Well, actually, no, not really. Forget.
You're not in the Champions League.
Was it a mistake?
Was it a mistake?
Was it a mistake?
I don't think. I think it was a mistake in terms of we had young players that were supposed to take that step up this season and kind of cement themselves as regulars.
Has he halted that? The thing of where your young players can learn off there. No, but there was two things here, and I feel like this is where KG is going to come into this. Right?
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay, hold on. There's two sides to this. There's the side that DJ was just about to go into, which is these young players that were supposed to step up and have more game time. Right? Okay, so there's that argument, but then there's the argument of wow, like what Sancho was saying the other day. I'm in the dressing room with the GOAT. I'm learning every single day. I'm going to up my levels. Where on the meter with, say it's in the middle, is it leaning more towards actually it's halted and stunted the growth, or actually no, these players haven't raised it enough?
I was just going to finish. Let me just finish 2 seconds.
Okay.
I'll let you land. Just 2 seconds. I was going to just say that I do think you have to look at both sides of the coin. Him coming in is a positive in a sense because, look, if there's a chance to sign either Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, you just have to take it, whether you planned or not. You have to take it just by a sheer name alone. But then when you really deep it, when you really look at our squad and where we're at, you bring Cristiano Ronaldo in, and we had the likes of Greenwood, Marcel, Rashford, all these guys playing. You bring in Sancho. I thought those were going to be our main guys to take us forward. You bring in Ronaldo now, and he's going to pull rank all day. He's not coming off the pitch. He could be tired. He ain't coming off the pitch. So who's really going to get the game time to carry on their development? And so what that creates is a lot of scapegoats. So some players are getting taken off when really they shouldn't be really getting taken off, but they know they can't take off Ronaldo, innit? So a lot of man get sacrificed. So that's what I was
KG,
saying.
does that just happen because he's the GOAT and damn right because he can score any time? That's right.
Again, we gotta every time when we say this, when they talk about pressure making diamonds and all that stuff. This is supposed to be a big club, yeah? We've had a time when we had 4 amazing strikers. 4, yeah? Teddy Sheringham, Ollie, Cole and York. And you got to take your moment. Now, if you say, oh, I'm not doing well because he's here, then you're rubbish, bruv. Get the hell out. You're not here for this. You can't be here with that mentality. You need to come on the pitch and demand to be the main man. Now, what's happened now is Elanga sensed something wrong with Rashford, taking his moment. It's not like Elanga's meant to start this season. He took his moment and he's enjoying it. That's what these players have to do.
Yeah, but everyone's different though.
I don't want to hear a player tell me
come on,
the
DJ.
reason I'm not
I've got evidence. I can evidence it.
The reason you're not doing well. 1 second, you're telling me the reason you're not doing well is because he's here. Bro, fix up, bro, and score goals because goals put you in the team. I don't know anyone that doesn't score and doesn't get to play. That's madness.
Yeah.
What kind of elite mentality is it's always someone else's fault? That's not an elite level mentality.
No, I'm not saying that.
I know what you're saying, DJ. Because everyone's different, but like KG's point is right. If Ronaldo's not playing well, take your opportunity. But also that idea of he stifled these younger players' growth or whatever. They're still in the squad. They still had chances to play this season. Everyone's not playing well.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When Ollie was here, man,
and it's easy to go, Ronaldo's fault. I tell you what, I would not have the nerve. I would not have the nerve to say, I tell you what, I played shit this season because Cristiano Ronaldo was at the club.
No, not at all.
Can you imagine that? Could you imagine
black and white as that? It's not as black and white
as that. Like
you got
Sancho, for example.
Once Ronaldo comes into the club, Now Sancho gets less minutes. Remember at the beginning when I met you at Southampton,
Sancho is playing.
I said Sancho needed to get as much game time as possible. No, there was a time where people were saying he's a flop.
He wasn't
and he wasn't
playing.
getting any
He's
games.
playing
He was
now.
not playing.
Yeah,
now he's
he
playing.
was
There's
playing
predicaments. There's predicaments.
But
and
so is
things that have been in
Ronaldo.
place.
Ronaldo's still playing.
No, but at the beginning of the season, you have a huge choice of strikers. Martial's not getting minutes. Sancho wasn't getting as much minutes as possible. At last season, those were the three main players: Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. They're always playing. So then you need a unity.
Earlier on in the season, you're saying when Martial was at the club and Ronaldo was scoring goals, you were like, Martial needs to play.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Where's the future? Why would you want a 37-year-old that's coming for one season?
But you didn't sign Ronaldo for the future. We didn't sign Ronaldo for the future. We didn't go, I tell you what, we're going to get Ronaldo in at 36 for 5 years' time. We got him for this season. And I know it's easy to say now, it didn't pay off. But it's always a gamble. Every transfer is a gamble. And it's very easy now to say, I wouldn't have signed Cristiano Ronaldo.
Has it not worked?
Well, we have to wait to the end of the season.
You can't if you say who's United's top scorer.
He hasn't finished at the club yet.
Say who? Yeah, exactly. Who's United's top scorer?
Ronaldo.
It's Ronaldo.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
again, the season hasn't finished yet.
No,
and his time at the club hasn't finished yet.
It hasn't finished yet. So but one thing I do evidently see with my eye test, and I tweeted it a few games ago when he was really going through that patch.
Yeah, he's not playing.
He's losing his powers.
100%.
Yeah.
And again,
100%. The man is losing his powers. And in certain times I see him, I'm not going to lie, some of it's quite sad to see. Like, I'm not going to lie. Because, I think James said it, because he's coming back down from such a high level, his 60% or 65% is still good enough to get double figures in the Premier League because he's that damn good of a player for his whole career. Yeah. But I am seeing centre-halves muscle him off the ball like he's not there, can't hold up the ball. He's second-guessing himself. There was a moment in transition in sort of like the last 5 minutes of the game yesterday. Yes, he's been playing a lot of games. I get that, but he got the ball. I think from Bruno. He was literally falling over out of fatigue before he even got there. Then tried to whip it and it hit.
That's my point.
So a mixture.
If we had an option, so there's no probably wouldn't play as many games, or he wouldn't. He gets substituted, but we don't. We don't.
So it is bad.
He's not the problem. He's definitely the problem.
He's not.
He's a world-class finisher, and he will continue to contribute this season. Yeah. It's just the plan, the structure, and the plan that the club has brought forth by bringing him in, and we should have just got a younger striker, man.
KG, super chat for you that just came through. Do you want to take that one?
That is amazing. That's amazing.
That's so good.
Wait, hold on. What's it? Oh, well, let's just call him Margot.
Margot
said, I hate to hear y'all pronounce.
I think even Margot's wrong. I think even Margot's wrong. It's Margot.
KG just want to still said it.
You still got him. It's Margot.
Ketelusi, Mansojo, Margot.
Hey,
they are DJ.
Hey, DJ.
Come on.
Big up. I like that.
Light work.
Yo says,
we should have been so English and just called him Dave.
Yeah, Yo says, question for everyone: does Rashford have the ability to switch up his game and not run at players with his head down? In fact, you know what? This is the last question of the show. Actually, just last one. Ben says, since last season, not one striker claimed the number 9 spot. Ronaldo didn't displace anyone that was doing well. None of them would have scored more than CR7. Good point, because last season was terrible.
Cavani was our striker.
And Cavani was the striker as well. And he was in and out, didn't play as much as he probably could have done. But the last thing we do have to talk about, guys, is a little bit extended as a show, to be fair. But, that's where the conversation's gone. We can't finish without talking about, I'll start with you, James, actually, the Rashford thing. Let's have a little conversation about this, because this isn't, trying to hound a player who's one of our own out the cut. It's not about that. It's an honest discussion about what's going on. Has a ceiling been reached? Is it just bad form, or was this always inevitable? How do you see this?
The whole situation's really tough to watch unfold, mate, to be honest, because no one wants to see him succeed more than the majority of the United fan base, especially the local United fan base, right? I've said it over and over again, but the guy lives 2 minutes from my house. When he came into the team, right? So I've watched him since he was like under 18 level, and he was never really a goal scorer. He was behind loads of people in the pecking order at youth level, whereas someone like Greenwood was a more natural finisher, someone like Alanga, more natural finisher. Rashford very much wasn't, right? So when he got his chance against Midtjylland and he scored those 2 goals, and then he played against Arsenal the next game and scored another 2 goals, it was kind of like he over-exceeded expectations.
He took the chances
right?
at the right time. That's what you need in football, isn't it? Can you do that then?
100% he did, right? So then people were like, oh, right, this guy's a player, this guy's a striker. And all of a sudden he keeps on getting more goals and he's playing with that confidence that Elanga is now. We saw Elanga yesterday running at people and stuff, and he was playing with that confidence, and it was really, really good to see. Now, when the downfall started, listen, you can't pinpoint it on one thing, right? But United have got a history of chucking a lot of money at players very young.
Yeah,
big contracts early, right? And then, so that comes into it. I'm not saying that it's turned his head or anything, but that 100% comes into it. There's him not playing any time at the Euros, then getting brought on for a penalty shootout and missing the penalty, coming back to his mural in Withington, being racially abused the next day and having all that abuse, and people like him saving and feeding loads of like the kids across the country, and then getting that thrown in his face every time he has a poor performance, stick to feed into kids and all this. Like there's loads of stuff, right? So, and there's potentially like family issues or relationship issues or whatever. There's loads of stuff that's probably has all contributed to Rashford not playing his best football at the moment. With regards to his ceiling, I thought he had a high ceiling. I never thought he had as high a ceiling as Greenwood or other players that have come through our youth academy. And I never bought into the Rashford versus Mbappe hype, to be honest. I never really did. I think they're totally different
KG
levels.
tried to make me believe in that one time. He showed me stats. He showed me stats. We was on the phone for ages and he was like, yeah, but look at all these stats.
Because you said that thing is Rash's worse than Dan James or something. Do you know you said
I never said that.
No,
that was Ricky.
I remember you calling me mid-show. You was in the studio. You called me and started doing the whole...
But
yeah.
Who did he say? Wait, all Brighton. That's what he said. It's all better than Rashford.
Oh, God. He probably did.
Yeah, bruv. That's it.
You're telling me I said Marcel Brighton's better than Rashford's.
Bro, me and you was on the phone, bruv, and you was trying.
How about I was saying players like Sane? Why don't you say the real thing of what it was? Why don't you say the real thing of what it was?
Also, as well, I know maybe Flex did say that, but you bit KG. You bit, and you thought it was real.
This
and
guy,
you did this.
Listen, Flex is a little shit.
And then he ended up saying he's the same as Mbappe. KG left the thing saying that he's the same as Mbappe.
Hey, listen, if I had powers, I'd sin Binny. I'd get you there.
When I was talking about players like Sane, I was talking about players like Kingsley Coman. That's who I was talking about.
Look at this revisionist history, bruv. Anyway, continue with your point, Owen.
Yeah.
It's all right. Honestly, no, it's all right. Rashford obviously wasn't on levels with Mbappe, so that was never a discussion that never needed to be had. So I think his ceiling's lower. I think he's playing below his ceiling at the moment. Obviously, I don't think that's arguable. Can he play through it? I don't know. We're not in a position where we can afford him time to just play through it. Like football nowadays, fans are so like flippant, and everyone wants something now, right? Like we don't want to hear the term like, oh, we'll build again, we'll rebuild, we'll go through this. People want stuff now, right? It's that kind of culture. So for us to say, oh, we need to play Rashford for 10, 15 games for him to get his confidence back, the fans won't buy that. So I don't see where the future is for Marcus Rashford at Manchester United.
I think that's more negative for him. I think Rashford needs to just come off the bench like he's doing. With minimal.
He had a couple of games, didn't it? It was Brentford and West Ham where he came off the bench and had
come off the bench.
Yeah, it was all right.
He scores in both of those.
Come off the bench, stretch the teams. When the teams are tired, you should be coming on and run on the left, and it'll be helpful to do it on the left-hand side. But if it's been occupied, you just got to do it on the right, getting where you fit in. But he just needs to come on and stretch things.
But is he happy with that at 250k a week or whatever? That's what you've got to ask.
You made the key point that we need to make here is Man United players think they've all arrived. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
The money that we pay these kids is just over the odds. And I'm talking all of them. So you come to Man United and it's like my life's set up. We see even no disrespect to Brandon, not even to bring up Brandon, but you could see how Brandon quickly shifted into being the man. Like you could see how his whole demeanor changed because why? I'm on big money. Don't talk to me. We even had it with Greenwood. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with the money that Greenwood was getting. Off the pitch, these guys think because this is one of the biggest clubs in the world. You come here and then all the moves late after this is just down. Yeah. So some of these guys look around and say, you know what? I'm that guy. Even they're playing against other Premier League sides and they know they get paid more than them. Can you imagine that? They're looking at players and saying, players that are putting in a shift week in, week out. And they're like, I get paid more than you. You're not on my level.
Hey, KG, drop a bomb for yourself, bro.
Yeah.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts.
Yeah.
But that's Ed Woodward's fault, KG. That's Ed Woodward's fault. Because at the end of the day, other big clubs, Tottenham, well, not Tottenham, like a big club, but they have a structure. Liverpool, they have a structure. Do you get it? They have a good structure where they're paying people relative to their success. These players haven't got a level of success yet, and they get paid that money.
Immediate
Do you think then,
like, yo,
they should be?
do you think if we had a wage structure in place, we'd be playing better?
Every loss, it should be minus 40k.
Do you think we would?
You're gonna see man running around. You're gonna see man running around for these wins.
What in the Idi Amin situation? He trying to
man are gonna be running around. Owen.
Marcel just said to me, every bad minus 40k.
It should on every bad performance. It should
just
be relative to the game.
You just bankrupt our team.
Marcel,
fam. You're gonna be running around.
But Owen made a good point there, though. It was a good question. It was a fair question.
What's that?
Saying?
Well, my point was, if we pay, so you're not saying this, but maybe there is overinflated egos because of overinflated wages. I understand that, but we aren't acting like all Premier League footballers get paid a lot of money, and we're saying that. And I know we have the highest wages in the league. That is true, and that is fair. But would you say that if we paid our players less, they would play better than they are now?
No, it's about hunger. So what we're talking about now is about hunger and bonus.
No fire in their belly.
I think it's that simplistic.
Sometimes,
I don't think when you're making that amount of money, I don't think it comes down to it. We're talking about astronomical figures here. So if someone's paying 300k a week, if they're on 200, they play better.
No, not like that. I'm talking about. So let's say now, at this club, you can actually look across the board and say, you lot haven't won anything. Yes. No one here. I can look at all these players. And you, as you said, one of the highest paid teams in Premier League football.
High wages, low trophies.
No trophies. So right now, no one has done the work to suggest you deserve this. So I want to put hunger in certain players. Now, obviously, I'm a super boxing fan. AJ, people say one of the biggest things with AJ is he just made too much money. The hunger's not the same. You're not training the same. You're not approaching things the way you need to approach it. So now what you want to do is we have to look at this and say, enough. No one here is done anything. Yes, we got.
I would say my point would be at that level.
Go ahead.
Minus 40k
at that level, with that amount of money, that hunger doesn't come from finances. That hunger comes from internally wanting to be the best. And I don't know if some of those players necessarily want to be the best, want to compete. I think there's a difference between that.
I got one for you lot. Just quickly, the world of Louis says, you guys talk about a plan before Ronaldo came in. What plan? We were shit before he came. Mansuk says, hasn't Ralph had the most points besides Man City since he took over, but the media and fan base seem to be so negative? Why?
They hate him. They hate him.
And this one was interesting, says Steve K. Says, hi, Flex, love the channel. I'm an Arsenal fan. We had Aubameyang smashing in goals, winning golden boots. Where did it get us? 8th. Sometimes your main man just doesn't fit into the DNA of the side.
Everyone says once you got the new contract, that's when he started.
Exactly. So they're saying the money. Okay, they're saying the money. David G says, I would have rather kept Dan James if I knew Rashford was going to be this bad. Rashford out here playing like Luke Chadwick.
That's mad.
And Eagle Eye Football says, I said to KG before the season that Rashford going to the Euros would kill his career. This might be playing out. He's still not fully fit, in my opinion. Big up, great show. My question was going to be, away from all the money, my question is how good are the individual players that we have? Like, if you just look at some of the players that we sometimes think are exceptional. Remember, I said it, baby. Remember back in the last season, KG? Yeah. And how many shows did I do? And I was like, these players, a lot of these players that we think are wicked players, they're just not wicked, bro. Yeah. Whether they're on £5 a week or 500 grand a week, some of them just ain't at the required level to do what we want them to do. I said to Owen on the show the other day, we got 4 fullbacks. You know what I said? I said, out of all 4, I'm just like, none of them are the best in the Premier League.
Now, when it comes to those wages, they shouldn't be on those wages because they're not good enough. But that's what I think their performance isn't related to their wage; it's related to their quality. Maybe they're just not good enough.
So let me throw this point back to you guys. And this is some of the issues, and it's been the issue with the creation of what we've done with this club, and so when we talk about wages and Flex, the point that you was making earlier, this is perfect. With new artists that come out, when are they at their best? Debut album. Why? The hunger is amazing. Every single person, debut, they're trying to be that person. Now at Man United, we've had loads of players that have rather sit on the bench and wait for their contract to be fully finished before they leave. They don't want to play football. Why? My life is cushy. I'm enjoying. Yeah, I don't need. You know what? Don't play me. And we've been getting players that will come here instead of winning a Premier League medal at Man City or whoever. They'll come here, sit down for the money.
That's pay packet, man. Yep.
That is already a problem.
What are they supposed to do? Turn it down?
No, I'm not saying that.
Down?
I'm saying that how you in the beginning, anytime you're going for something, you're hungry. I'm talking as a creative. Yeah, my best stage is when I had no money. I was looking around saying, where's it going to be made? And then you have another injection, probably when you settle down, have a child, and you're like, shit, I need to get paid again. Yeah. But there's many moments in your life when you can be like, now's the time to strike. Unfortunately, we got these young kids that are at the club and they are chilling. Chelsea had that same problem as well. They had 100 kids on the books and they didn't.
But away from the money, everything you said about money, I agree with. But then when you say, look at our players versus the players versus the players at City versus the player at Liverpool, versus the players that we're trying to catch, even players that like teams that in like Leicester or like Arsenal or like whatever, if you were Tottenham, wherever you want to look here, look at the level of players that we're saying, some of them, and say, look at the level of players that we used to be buying versus the level of players that we have now. And just take the money out of it. Pure performance, pure, are they good enough? I think there's a big disparity between the quality and recruitment of the profile of player. Take money out of it. Say everyone was on blank contracts. Let's say everyone was on blank contracts and just take it for ability. The types of players that we've been getting in don't match whatever thing we've been trying to put down. Like none of the pairings are cohesive. None of the signings back each other up or match with each other. Sancho plays a whole different style to what a Rashford would play. Ronaldo plays a whole different style to a link up with a 10 that Bruno is. Pogba plays a whole different wavelength to what McTominay and Fred do. Matic does a whole different thing. Maguire's nowhere near it, but Varane's Rolls Royce, but Lindelof's somewhere in the middle. The fullbacks are all average. David De Gea is still a top keeper. Like we're so lopsided with the whole squad on ability, and that's the recruitment, not just money.
It's because this is the thing. Our players that we've bought, these marquee signings, which Ed Woodward was a part of that. They go for that name's shiny. Let's bring him in. But bringing, let's say, for example, I won't say Declan Rice, but a big name coming in doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fit within this jigsaw. Do you know what I mean? Like teams now, it's all about tactics. It's all about systems. It's all about finding the right cogs and the right parts to work the machine. Now, we can have all these shiny parts, but if they're not going to be fit for purpose with this team, what's the point? And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing, we've got big players by name. Some have past accolades, great, but do they fit well in a cohesive unit that's been actually handpicked by one manager, one director of football? They've sat down and said, we need this player, this player, this player. Most of our players are like our second or third choices.
The director of football is not a football man. The director of football is not a football man. It's part of the problem. He doesn't know what's required to earn this much money or said amount of money. So he's paying people stupid amount of money, and now they're having a chill. They're having a cup of tea. They don't need to work that hard anymore.
The comments are saying, just quickly, let's get the comments out. Flash says, lazy recruitment for a decade has created this mix. Ben disagrees with me. Says Flex, it's not talent that stops our players tracking back. It's hard work. Okay, fair enough. I agree with that. Hard work you won't put in when you're satisfied financially. Yeah, I hear that. I do hear that. But they're all millionaires. Every single one of them are millionaires, and that's why I'm like, I don't really see it as like, because I've got a G-Wagon, I'm not going to go run over there. You could say that it's because they haven't been drilled to do that over the last. If they played for Pep, that wouldn't. What you've got to remember, if they play for someone like Pep or Klopp, that wouldn't be tolerated, then you wouldn't play. But what's happened at Man United, because the standards are low, not just because of money, but because of the shit coaching and the shit philosophy of direction, it's been okay, and you get rewarded by not money, but starts. That's even more detrimental to a team.
Or trophies.
Not money, but trophies. Starts. You don't win trophies, you get rewarded by playing more. Do you see what I'm saying? Or not getting challenged and still keeping your position. So I get the money thing. The point that Kate is making 100% about where are you at your most hungry when you're at the beginning of your career. 100%. You talk to people like Andy Langer, you see them, you hear their interviews. He's so humble, so happy he's there. I want to take every opportunity, 100%. Hopefully, when he gets a new contract and he's on triple the wages, we still see that same energy and hunger. I 100% understand that. But I think the fundamental problem at Man United, along with money and big contracts to players who haven't been at it, I get that, is actually the types of players that we continually keep signing that keep failing, like in terms of their ability. I just think it's just not good enough. I think that's and that gets rewarded by staying in the team.
Don't get me wrong, yeah, you get outliers, yeah. Bradley said this. This is what Conor Ben said, yeah. He goes, where's the thing? It's tough to wake up at 5 a.m. and do running work, road work.
And you're lying in silk shoes.
Yeah.
How much do you want it? Yeah.
And what happens is you got the issue. We all know, everyone knows, before we watch anything from Ralph, he told us how he wants us to play, yeah. Ralph, if I know Ralph, if he could have a situation where he could change the team and put in just energetic players instead of the players that he has now, he would do it because the team is not playing in its true image. Ralph wants to play literally like as soon as the ball is lost, we win it back. The way Atletico was playing, Ralph understands I can't get these players to do that.
Yeah,
you lot haven't got the mindset to say
the mindset. So are you saying that they're not running around pressing? Just because they're on too much money, or because they're in bad habits.
No, but I'm bad habits and
being coached like this the whole time.
Check this out. Just imagine if I know you don't have, and I bring you to this club and say, listen, go on and do a job for me. But I know you haven't arrived yet. You're still trying to find yourself. You're gonna run through brick walls for me because you know this is my first opportunity. I'm saying a lot of these guys are already like Declan and Rice could arrive now tomorrow for 100 mil, and he in his mind, I've made it. I'm at Man United. I got signed for 100 mil.
So you think Declan Rice would run? Do you think if he arrives at Man United, he runs less?
No, I'm just saying.
And that's what I mean. By that logic, any player that's developed over time, when they get their big contract, they stop playing, which isn't true. With some people with certain personality,
it's not as black and white as that. Profile of player is important.
You have people that are not going to be affected by the money. You do.
Yeah, profile of players.
That's recruitment then. So that's recruitment, not a money issue. That's a recruitment issue,
not as black
and
white. It's a mixture of two.
You look at some of our players who get the most criticism, yeah. And KG, I'm not just starting off with Wan-Bissaka criticism. I'm actually being serious. I'm actually being serious, yeah.
Yeah.
We see Wan-Bissaka's flaws in his game, yeah.
Yeah.
We see Dallow's flaws in his game or whatever. Like Owen said, if Wan-Bissaka say his price tag wasn't 50 million and then his wages were half of that consequently. Say Wan-Bissaka was on 40 grand a week. Do you think he'll be better on the ball? Do you think he'd run? Do you think he'll be a better player?
I think you work harder to get. I think you'll do more work to be better to earn that contract. I think you would. If you're not getting what you need, I'm not saying he's going to be better on the ball. I'm saying that if you know that everything is not already set up and there's still more that I have to achieve because I'm not the main guy, I'm going to work hard. But now you talk about the culture because that's a big part. Even the players that we do sign, players are coming here for the money. So there's already an issue. So just imagine we have these guys that think they made it already. Players come here for the money, and everyone is saying, you know what? And then we got the expectation of upstairs, which is, well, we can just get top 4. I don't care if we win. Yeah, that's a recipe for problems. That's a recipe for it's okay. Literally, and Ronaldo's been the difference that's coming and said, hey guys, I'm here for trophies, and it's like, wait, what's he on about? We just play.
We just play.
Again, I would say, I agree. It's a cultural issue, but I would also say, KG, if you're coming in, say you're a football player, Manchester United go say, KG, we want you to come to the club. They go 250k a week. Now, in your mind, I'll tell you what, I'm not worth 250k a week. What are you going to say? No. No, thanks.
Say that
again. Of
course you're not. Sorry, I missed. Go on, say that again.
So Manchester United are recruiting you, right? They go, KG, we want you to come in, striker. You play like Benjani or whatever it is, okay? We need him up front. Yeah. And they say, KG, we want to give you 250k a week. And you know in your head, you got to tell you what, I'm not worth 250k a week. I don't know why they're offering me that. What are you going to say? No, I want to keep it at 30 because I want to run harder. If I'm at 30, I will run harder.
I understand.
Agents are part of that process. That doesn't make sense.
Well, players. Well, they're going to turn it down. That's United's problem. Again, it's a recruitment problem. And when I say it's a recruitment problem, it's looking at personality types. I tell you what, if we bring him in, is he going to be the right personality that he's going to want to succeed at the club? Or when he gets here, he might feel like I've made it. But again, I don't think that's a finance issue. I think that's a recruitment and a culture and a talent issue.
The thing is,
we're talking about astronomical money anyway. We're talking about football players. They're all millionaires. It comes from internally whether they want to be an elite level or not. Mo Salah wants 500k a week at the moment. When he gets his contract, I don't want to be the best player in the world anymore.
Do you know what I think it is though? I think a part of it also. I think a part of it also is United seem to sort of like jump at any little hint of talent. They jump at it and they like promote it as the next best thing. Like I think some players, even if it's a youth player that comes into the team, scores a goal, great. I don't think we should over-reg it. You got to let them prove themselves. We literally just, especially the English contingent, like if any English player comes out, they say, "Oh, it's the next Wayne Rooney, it's the next this, it's the next that." They need to stop with all of that, man. Seriously.
But the original question, though, right, was Flex was going on to ability of players, right, and talking about Chelsea, Liverpool, City. What it boils down to at the end of the day, like we can talk about money, all that. How many of our players get in their team realistically on a consistent basis? And this is my issue, right? Because I think we've got 5 or 6 players that, if they were consistent, would have a shout at getting in their team. The problem is none of them would get in their team because none of them are consistent enough for Pep, for Klopp. They just wouldn't be in the team long enough. Bruno, if he was a consistent 8 out of 10 performer like he should be, would get in one of their teams. But at the moment, he loses the ball too much, so he wouldn't be in a Pep team. Paul Pogba, same thing. He wouldn't.
Bruno,
he wouldn't, man.
He wouldn't. I don't think he would.
In his current state, not the way he gives away the ball. He wouldn't. You can't play for City like that.
I'm not saying
KG, he'd have to change. He'd have to change.
Yeah,
he'd have to keep it simple.
But again, sometimes the narrative has to change with Bruno. He hasn't lost in the last 2 games. Yes, in the Atleti game, he lost the ball a lot. But he hasn't been losing the ball.
No, but it's like saying in Pep with their system of how they play, would Pep Guardiola say, "Do you know what, Kevin De Bruyne? I don't want you. You're going on the bench because Bruno's here." Would he say that right now with how Man City play football? With Rodri just behind that and Bernardo Silva in there, he wouldn't do it. I don't think. I'm not saying Bruno's crap, but he would just have to change. He would have to. Again, it comes down to what the coach demands.
Well, Bruno would
it comes down to what the coach would demand of the player, and then Bruno would have to go, "Listen, this is Big Pep. I ain't playing unless I do X,
Bruno would look completely
and I think
different
Bruno's quite clever enough to do that. I do.
I think Bruno would look completely different in a Man City team, guys, though. So
possibly, but that leads on to kind of
different Bruno.
But that leads on to the summer, though, boys. That leads on to the summer. Like, is there going to be a wholesale clear out? Is this whoever the new manager is? Are they going to be able to pick the exact players they want for the exact system that they want to play? I think that's the big question. Because if the board and the bigwigs upstairs want to start getting involved and saying, actually, I know you wanted this player from RB Leipzig, but we'll say go get Declan Rice. We think that's a better image for Man United. That's when the problems start.
I hear this though. Man said Bruno might not get in with 9 goals and 14 assists this season. That's crazy.
I genuinely don't think he would. He doesn't suit their style of play. Like his stats and stuff for 2021 were insane. His stats for this season are okay, but at the end of the day, he doesn't. If you like, can anyone name me 3 of our players that consistently get in City or Liverpool's team? Go for it, because I can't.
Bruno.
He's in
anyone.
And City did want Ronaldo at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
but he doesn't get in their team.
I don't think that question's about saying Bruno's crap. He wouldn't get. I don't think. I just think it's more about saying Pep would want his team to play a certain way, and until Bruno could prove to him he could adapt to that, Jack Grealish arrived for 100 million. And I'm not saying that Grealish is better than Bruno. What I'm saying is he arrived for 100 million pounds. Jack Grealish, 100 million pounds, and he went, not better than Sterling, mate. I've seen enough. See you later. See you later. You won't play. You're not playing.
That's crazy.
Because you're not playing how I want you to play. So sit on the bench.
Don't get twisted. And let's be fair to ourselves. Yeah. What the City can do when it doesn't work for a player is different to us. City will say if their left back or right back ain't working, that's fine.
100%.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
But we're a total different outfit in terms of
that player would stay there for 4 years. We could probably get a new deal.
100. We're starting Phil Jones. We're starting Maguire because he costs 80 mil. Yes, it's not work, but we're like, listen, I need to see my 80 mil work.
Yeah, they dropped John Stones.
That's the culture. That's the culture.
John Stones wasn't playing for about a year and a half.
They dropped him.
Where was he? Forgotten about, man. Gone. Not even in the football abyss. And then all of a sudden, he just came back.
That's what I'm saying. So they can. Those clubs that are set up like that can do that. Now, when we talk about it's crazy, and
that's the culture issue because the players know that, and the players do know that. They paid 80 million on for me. I'm not going anywhere again. But that comes down to recruitment. That comes down to recruitment and culture, not necessarily the wage they're on, but them knowing I'm safe here.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's a part of it, but I agree. I'm not saying. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying wages is the only reason why these players.
Of course.
I'm saying it,
and again, they're not to turn them down.
It plays a factor. I say it pays a factor in some of these players just thinking that we arrived like it makes me sad to think to ourselves that it's been like plus 9 years, close to 10 years without winning like the major honors. Like we try and talk about an FA Cup, but let's be real, FA Cup's kind of beneath us. We shouldn't be really talking about the Europa League because we never would have looked at that trophy as a trophy before in our history. So
do you want to know?
Go ahead.
Yeah, do you want to know the saddest thing? Just because you spoke about the 10 years, nearly 10 years since you won something. I remember when Fergie sort of hanged up the managerial stuff, and he was asked by a reporter. They said, "Oh, you know, Arsenal. It's been 10 years since they ain't won the Prem. Do you think that's ever going to be Man United?" And literally, he didn't even finish the word Man United. He went, "Never." He went, "Never. That's never going to happen. Never."
There you go.
King said the same.
Yeah, and it's looks like it's going to probably come into fruition that it's going to be 10 years without something. A lot needs to change, man, and it's from top down. And we know we say it time and time again. I think the things that we can control and the things that we should try and be able to control is whoever this new manager is, can they please get the players that they want and play the system that they want? Yeah. Not what's good for marketing, not what's good for shirt sales, so what's going to fit a system. And that's where I think we can then sort of like start winning convincingly, start being consistent, and start being a force to reckon with, man.
Tabara is right on cue as we finish off. Tabara says, shout out to the panel, mods, and United View community, I want to say, or I think. And Ukraine, definitely before we finish, you know,
man.
I don't even know what words to say, to be honest with you. I don't even know. And the show, the signs of solidarity of players and Premier League clubs and everything, and people doing their bit has been unbelievable. But when you see on social media and the news what's actually going on there, like I don't even have words. I'm usually like to think I'm okay with words and kind of vocalize and stuff, but I think we're all in agreement. Just unbelievable scenes. Yeah. It's something you think actually can't happen in 2022. You think the world's just kind of past it, but sometimes there's some horrible dictators in this world, some evil people in this world who say differently. And hopefully, if you got family in Ukraine or any Ukraine ties or anything like that, thoughts with you guys, man. Thoughts with you guys, and I really hope that there's some settlement. I really hope that major countries and major states or whatever can all pull together and be a bigger machine than the one that's trying to dictate, you know, what's going on. And because it's unbelievable. I couldn't imagine having family members there having to evacuate. You know, I saw that clip of the young dad.
It's heartbreaking.
So, you know, it's like we have a laugh and talk about football and we love our team, but actually, when you break it down, guys, there's
bigger things. In any country, bro, war is just not the one in it. So literally, prayers for peace everywhere, man. That's what it comes down to.
100%. But guys, on that note, it's been a wicked show. Fantastic show. Thanks for everybody getting involved. That was that's what the full view's about. It's full of views. It's full of different opinions. It's full of different talking points. It's full of disagreements. It's full of agreements. And it's full of respect as well, which is wicked, man. So
except for Cam.
Guys, we're gone. We've done an hour and a half today. Actually, that was not supposed to happen, but the way the conversation went, it was flowing, it was big. That's just
it was good, man.
How it goes. So it was good. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you again very, very soon, man. Keep safe. Peace.